Hello and welcome to the Starfall Collective, Season 2, King of the Cloudy Sea, a Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition adventure. I'm
Hey,
Matthew Talamini.
Matt,
What's
stop
up?
for a sec. I don't think I'm getting any desktop audio based on my line. Can somebody go look on Twitch?
I can and I will. The words of Lone Star, I'm already there.
Desktop audio. It says it's active, but I'm getting no little bars on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I should hear audio.
Did you see it switch to our video?
Yep, it's on video.
Okay. Then sorry. Give me a sec.
Cool.
Did I?
Do your OBS magic.
Desktop audio.
Me and Josh will continue to make sound so that Josh will be able to hear it when the sound comes up. This is a game that we're playing out on the cloudy sea.
With
It
a
is the forest instead of water.
Okay, I think I got it.
with a 10-second delay.
Do you hear anything, Matt? I mean, Josh.
I should hear myself saying something soon. Pocket a queep, pocket a queep. Da, 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 da,
I mean, I heard it's a 10-second delay happening for a second time.
Oh, you did?
I
Okay.
can hear it through your. Can you not hear it? I hear it through your microphone.
Oh, that's because I'm an idiot. Okay, so
All right, I'm sorry for
audio
these
for the Starfall Collective was coming through one thing. Never mind. Okay, sure.
Josh,
Hi.
if you can route your audio through to your headphones instead of into your room where your mic will pick it up,
Yeah.
that would be great. Let's get started.
Okay, wait. I just transitioned to the will begin shortly. But they can hear this part, so.
And away we go.
All right, 5, 4, 3. They heard all that.
Hello and welcome to the Starfall Collective Season 2, King of the Cloudy Sea, Take 2, a Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition adventure. I'm Matthew Talamini, your Dungeon Master. I'm a writer and web developer based in Providence, Rhode Island, and you can find my stuff at MatthewTalamini.com. That's Matthew, Talamini.com. With me are a couple of my college buddies, Sir Robert Burbridge playing Weatherin, an Elven Paladin of Oberon. Say hi so people know who you are, and tell them where they can find your stuff.
Hi, I'm Sir Robert Burbridge. I am Dust in the Wind. And you can find my stuff on thefarce.net.
Joshua Suich is playing Malmer, an Elven Warlock of Chernobog. Say hi so people know who you are, and tell them where they can find your stuff.
I am the wind and the dust, and you can find my stuff if you know how to use Google with the cryptographic hash key JSUICH. Good luck.
Recent events have led us to a climactic moment. After leaving the castle of the cloud giant Nebulaster, the kraken hunting vessel Fujin traveled southwest into the area of the cloudy sea where the thick, interwoven trees that make up the mass of that sea are the thinnest, an area known as the Ragged Edge. A ship such as the Fujin travels out into the Ragged Edge itself only with great peril, and the Fujin has not done that yet. Because the mists float overall, covering solid masses of trees as much as the empty spaces between them, so that from the Fujin's height, the safe roads through this labyrinth are indistinguishable from the holes through which a ship might fall forever into infinite space. In the ship's boats, however, lying close to the canopy of leaves, which is the surface of the cloudy sea, that safe way can be perceived, although with difficulty. But at night, with the sun beneath the world, the green glow of the leaves of the trees can be seen and distinguished from mere misty nothingness. The point of this environmental description is, if you guys get lost out there, don't expect a rescue expedition until nightfall. The captain of the Fujin, a vengeance-obsessed elf named Goryo, may have some personal motivation to bring the ship out here, although these are legitimate kraken hunting grounds. But Malmer, too, had his own reasons for exploring out past the Ragged Edge. His god Chernobog originally acquired Malmer when he himself was stranded here by his traitorous ship's crew, and that god has apparently been busy in the intervening time, allying himself with Karen, an evil and devious goddess of transformation, creating and deploying his horrific, one eyed, psychic, Nothic servants, constructing, seemingly, a magically hidden pyramidal temple deep in the heart of the Ragged Edge. Malmer and company found this temple thanks to some hints salvaged from a sunken, destroyed uh, ship crewed by Nothics, while Sarah and the crew were busy removing one of the levy gems that keeps the temple up. Malmer was having an encounter with his god during which he glimpsed another deeper aspect of the god's nature, and after which he acquired an extraordinarily powerful fate blade, a glaive that gives the user a slight glimpse of the future. Just then, you all saw the red kite that the Fujin's boats use to signal each other. And as you headed back east to rejoin the crew, hauling your huge levy gem with you, you saw something flying west past you, high up. One of you identified it as a frost giant, likely one of Nebulaster's servants, flying on a big lump of cloudstone. And then you saw, just ahead of you, rising up out of the mist and followed by the three other boats, Enma, the silver squid, the king of the cloudy sea himself. Let me set the scene. There are 6 of you in this small, fan propelled boat. Weatherin the harpooner sitting at the front bench on the right. On the middle bench, Malmer sits on the left, and Sarah, the Fujin's second mate, sits on the right. The back bench and the front left spot are occupied by NPC sailors who might affectionately be called red shirts. The levy gem is held at the end of a long stick by one of the red shirts, an idiot named Trilo. This part of the Ragged Edge is like a broad plain with numerous holes in it. You can generally go whatever direction you want as long as you dodge the holes. It will not be like that to your west. And indeed, to get here from the west, you had to navigate quite the ever shifting, barely visible labyrinth. The Kraken is traveling as they usually do, deep in the trees, using its arms to grasp the branches above and below and on all sides. It thrusts its wedge shaped body between the trunks of the trees, creating a visible open space around it. Further west, as the gaps between trees get bigger, this will be a less and less viable way to move. They can also breach above the level of the trees and float for a little ways, or they can monkey bar below it. But in the middle, with the trees all around them, is where they're most comfortable. The other boats are currently giving chase to the Kraken. If it follows its current course, it will pass you maybe a minute before they do. It looks like it's going to pass about 50 feet to your left. You are facing east. They are at what we call the far away distance. They'd have to win 2 contested ability checks to catch up with the Kraken. You are at the middling distance. You would only need 1 to catch up with it as it currently stands. But you're at a 90-degree angle to the path of its travel. Weatherin.
Yeah.
Sarah, behind you, seeing the Kraken, curses softly and then says to you, "Better get that tangle harpoon ready, sailor." And then, "You others, pedal till your knees fall off. We're going to catch that thing."
Glorious, glorious battle.
Weatherin immediately sets himself to work, but doesn't say anything except "I."
I think Mal is going to try to make an athletics check to try to make the strongest contribution he can to just raw speed here.
Sure, that is what everybody in the boat has to do. make an athletics check. Everybody who is rowing, which is to say pedaling, go ahead.
Okay.
The dungeon master's offer is on the table to let you roll with advantage on these athletics checks for 3 athletics checks in a row, but at the cost of 1 level of exhaustion. So you can work yourself really, really hard, get advantage on a few athletics checks, but then until you sleep, you'll have disadvantage on saving throws.
Must he use all 3?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yes.
Great.
I think Mal wants to keep himself fresh for the fight. This is a marathon, not a sprint. So, for starters, 10. Merely competent is a poor showing for Mal here.
I can do. And if you how about you, Weatherin?
I'm not pedaling, right? I'm doing other stuff, getting ready to.
You can pedal if
Okay.
you want. You don't have to. The boat is designed such that it's the same as it is in Moby Dick, where the harpooner does have to row.
Okay,
But
then
you don't have to. It's designed so you could pedal or not.
I will absolutely pedal. That is my duty. That is the fullness of my duty. You said athletics, right? Okay.
Athletics.
Natural 20 plus 1.
What is that?
21,
21?
but with a natural 20.
Oh. Natural 20 is really good, but the Kraken has a 22. This is Enma, King of the Cloudy Sea. It gets a +8 to strength checks.
Indeed. Hey, how far away is it from us one more time?
It's about you're looking at it where did I say?
Middling distance.
About 50 feet.
Okay, I would like to cast Hex upon this fool. I'm sorry. Yeah, I want to cast Hex upon him, and from now on, he's going to be making all strength checks with disadvantage.
Is there a save for Hex?
You place a curse, and until the spell ends, you add a d6, and 1 ability, they have disadvantage. There's no save. I am terror, and I am fury. I am wrath, and its name is Enma.
So there's no dodging this?
Nope. He can dodge it by killing me.
Cool. What
Things to say to
ability
your
is it?
DM when you want your player character to die.
What ability is it that you're placing a hex on?
Strength.
Okay. So it rolls with disadvantage?
Correct.
Okay.
All ability checks made with the chosen ability, I choose strength.
For how long?
1 hour.
All right.
This is my only concentration spell. I won't be able to do invisibility or blur or shadow blade, but
Awesome.
Fortunately, I have a really, really good weapon to use right now.
That's a very powerful thing. The Kraken does draw ahead of you somewhat, and some of the other boats are drawing up close to you, but the Kraken is currently out ahead a little bit.
Okay.
Go ahead and make me some more of those athletics checks. Enma will make them with disadvantage.
If Enma is that close, then I
It's
think...
further away now. Now it's like 140 feet or so.
Okay. I am the long arm of the law, so I'm trying to figure out whether I should start attacking him and doing damage to him now, or I call out to Watherin. Watherin, do you want me rowing or doing damage?
That's Sarah's call.
Yeah, but I didn't ask her.
She said row, so
Oh,
row.
you nincompoop.
Row, so row. She said row, row.
21.
I got 8.
Okay. Yeah, you do draw closer. Let me see how the other ships do. Not ships, boats. Well, they're just not doing great on the athletics right now, these other boats. You know what? Oh, gee whiz. Okay. Captain Gorio just rolled a natural 1 for doing good at this. I guess he's pretty mad.
His foot slipped and he scraped his shin on the pedal.
Probably. So, you're zooming along at a furious rate to the west now. You initially had gone some ways north, but you've been turning to your left as it follows a course directly west. You've been turning and turning in its wake and pursuing it. You are now at what we call the middling distance, which is you've closed within 120 feet of it, and so you can see it a little better where it's parting the trees, but you are starting to get into the place where it's not quite as easy to just go straight and dodge the holes. You're starting to get into the place where you're going to have to actually find a path, sort of find a way through the maze to continue. You're going to start having to make survival checks, or Sarah at least will have to start making survival checks to navigate, but not quite yet. Go ahead and make another athletics check to chase the Kraken.
13.
Another 21.
Okay.
Back-to-back 16s.
So the Kraken comes into this area where it's a little bit patchier, and it breaches, which means it grabs the trees and it flings itself up above the surface of the cloudy sea, breaking through the mist, sort of. And you see that it's actually aptly named. The skin has sort of the like brown gray coloration that the Krakens usually have has kind of faded with the age of this monster and taken on a very reflective, shimmering, sort of silvery color that shines in the sun. However, in the air, as it breaches, it can't continue to accelerate. They're very sort of blimp-like, so they actually slow down a little bit as they go up. So you're able to pull ahead so that when it comes down again, you're pretty close to it.
Am I able?
Actually, you will be, when it comes down, you will be within striking distance of it.
Mm-hmm.
You see in the distance, maybe like a quarter mile away, the temple that you had just come from.
Okay.
You're going back the way that you came, pursuing it. Okay.
Anticipating that we'll be within range for me to shoot it when it lands. Prior to its landing, I'm going to take a few seconds and cast Bless right before we would go into initiative or whatever.
Yep, go ahead and do that.
Okay. So I put Bless on me, Mal, and who else is going to be combat? Probably Sarah. Is there somebody? Is she the best fighter on the boat? Obviously not the idiot.
Yeah. She's the best fighter on the boat.
Okay.
Other than after the sailors.
Okay.
Before the sailors.
Then yeah, me, Mal, and Sarah. Get Bless.
Cool. Tell us what Bless does. So you get to add
yes.
or
Whenever you make an attack roll or a saving throw, for the minute that this is active or concentration, you get an extra D4 to your attack roll or saving throw.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
and so that we're not, so that I'm being fair about the time involved in this. Uh, 15 minutes have gone by of the chase.
Okay.
So um, this is not like each of these athletics throws is not like a 6-second combat round. It's like rowing for a really long time.
Right.
Okay.
And I wanted to do it like
with your arms. That motion was inaccurate. Rowing with your feet.
yeah. And I wanted to just cast it as I'm ready to shoot. Like just
Right.
before shooting. Great.
Cool. So you bless yourself. You are the foremost of the ships. There are 2 of them that are behind you. You can't tell who it is yet. One of them, I guess, is far enough back that you can't see who it is. Let me make a quick note here. Awesome. And yeah, so go ahead and throw the Tangle Harpoon. The way the Tangle Harpoon works, if you recall, is that you are making a strength check contested with the target's dex.
A strength check contested with the target's dex. Okay.
Yep.
And it's just a straight strength.
Just straight strength.
Meh. Okay. We'll see what I can do.
Ooh. Enma, you're letting me down.
15.
All right, roll me up a d12.
I've got one of those. All right. 4.
All right, your Tangle Harpoon strikes one of the Kraken's arms. If you recall, they have arms and also tentacles. There are 8 arms, 2 tentacles.
Okay.
You strike one of the arms with the harpoon. It sticks in fast, stays in there, and when the Kraken goes to dive back underneath of the trees, that arm gets tangled up in the branches by the
kite
dozens
tail.
and dozens of little like grappling hook tipped tails on this harpoon that trail behind it and flip around and with little metal spikes and things just get wedged really tight in the branches. And when the Kraken feels that arm being pulled behind it, it sort of turns around and it tries to get itself free, and trying to get itself free just tangles it up more tightly. So you have halted the progress of Enma in the midst of the cloudy sea. This is not the safest place. The trees are not 100% regular here. There are fairly big gaps, so navigating here will not always be simply a matter of steering your boat where you want to go. The other boats are still behind you, but go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh,
9.
no, it's not. 8. No, 6. Sorry.
6.
Yep. Getting my low rolls out of the way.
All right. So what happens is I'm not you don't hear me rolling because I rolled initiative for everybody else besides you guys
Sure.
before this, to save time. The one of the other boats draws a little bit closer behind you, coming up. They have their turn and they come closer, and then that should not be. That should be this. That should be that. Okay, and then it is the Kraken's turn. One of its arms is stuck to a tree, but in order to actually really do anything, it has to have at least 3 arms wrapped around something solid so it can brace itself to do anything. So it's got one arm that's trapped and two arms grab onto other trees. The arm that is trapped, it is going to attempt to free itself with disadvantage. Would have gotten that if it weren't for disadvantage. So it's still stuck.
Gorio's going to name his firstborn after me after this fight.
What's up? What's up, root beer?
Just showing them some good root beer.
Nice.
You know, I used to have a good pocket full of ginger chews, but then I chewed them all.
You know what? Oh yeah, okay. The boat's AC is 11, so it gets. So it a couple of its arms are going to attack your boat.
I can try.
Okay, this one does, and it hits your boat for 14.
Okay. And does that mean that the boat itself is taking 14 damage?
Yeah,
Okay.
the structure.
Okay.
And actually it's double damage, so that's 28.
Okay.
Fully grown krakens have a tag called Siege Monster, which does double damage to structures.
Ouch. Ouch.
So two of the arms flip out, perceiving the wait, you know what? That one still hits. Yeah, they both still hit. I didn't roll with disadvantage, but I did just now, and they both still hit. And just pounds the crap out of your boat. Like one of them hits the stern and puts a big hole in it, and another one chops off a big part of the fan, so that like it still probably works, but the housing is all messed up and broken, and sort of, yeah, it's gonna make some extra noise if you try and pedal it now, and you're not gonna want to put your hand back there. So your boat has taken some significant damage with those two arms, and then some of you guys are going to get attacked as well.
Mal has cast the armor of Agathis upon himself, and he's like wreathed in his appearance. He's cast alter self on himself, so he's now in like gleaming black armor, but there's like black ice crystals kind of jaggedly sticking off of everything. So
how long does that take to do?
it's just a standard action. I've been just kind of waiting till we get generally close, but before we it takes a standard action.
Not concentration.
It's fine. Just do this, and then I'll do it afterwards. That's fine.
Okay, it's not your turn yet.
Okay, that's fine.
The Kraken has a number of arms. But tell me how a 13 is against your armor class, Malmer.
Not enough. Even though he's dropped the shield, 13 is still not enough. He's wearing breastplate.
How about, okay, so not 11 won't hit either.
Nope.
One more arm to go. This one's going after Weatherin. 15. How's 15 against your armor class, Weatherin? And that's not going to hit, is it?
Not quite.
All right. Now, the two tentacles are longer and stronger, and they come whipping up and also come at you.
These are the two arms or the tentacles?
The tentacles. There are
Okay.
certain number of arms, and then two. If you look at a squid, like you can see, there's a whole bunch of shorter arms, and then two really long ones that sort of come out at the end.
Okay.
Twice as long. That's not going to hit you. That also is not going to hit you. All right. Now it is your turn, Weatherin.
Okay. I want to. Let's see. I want to try to entangle it again. Go for a different limb.
All right, you've got 3 tangle harpoons your boat is equipped with.
Okay,
So you've already expended 1.
great. Let's try another one, and let's see what we've got here. Come on. Ooh, a natural 20 for 22. No, for 20. Yeah, 22.
Yep. That succeeds. Roll me that d12.
And a 6.
All right, you get another one of the arms.
Oh, sounds good.
This arm gets whacked with the harpoon, and this is I guess you probably hit it with as it's withdrawing after attacking you, and as it pulls itself back into the trees, it gets tangled up.
Nice.
So the Kraken now has 2 arms in sort of different places that are stuck in the trees.
And Watherin,
Your turn.
and
Go ahead.
Watherin is just gonna shout a sort of hortatory encouragement to everybody. You know, we got him now, guy, crew, something like that.
He's on the ropes.
That's right.
All right. Mal is going to stand up at the edge of the boat, and he holds out his hand over Enma, and you see this black withering energy go flying off of his fingers, and you see it kind of race around in random directions, kind of like an eldritch net, and he is cursed. So I get +3 bonus damage against him. I'll crit on a 19 or 20 against him, and if he dies, I'll get hit points. But and then he withdraws.
Is there a save against this?
Nope, that's just a curse that I put on him.
Is it a concentration spell?
It is not.
Okay.
And then, so this is the beautiful thing about the Hexblade is he's got 2 persistent spells that are not concentration spells. One of them is the Hexblade's Curse. The other is Armor of Agus. And so he places his hand on his breastplate, and you see
The first thing that you did, that doesn't take an action?
It does. This is going to be my turn. That was my bonus action and my action.
So
Hexblade
one of them says it only takes a bonus action?
Yeah, the Hexblade's Curse.
Okay.
Bonus action.
Cool.
Choose one creature, blah, blah, blah. And then the Armor of Agthus, he places his hand on his breastplate, and emanating out from his fingertips and the palm of his hand, you see ice and frost spread, and you see big, black, jagged ice crystals protruding sharply off of his breastplate. So if Enma ever attacks and hits me, he'll take 10 damage, and I gain 10 temporary hit points.
What kind of damage is that?
It is Armor of Agathis, cold damage.
Cool.
So, and I'm going to add my temporary hit points. There we go.
I should have done this earlier, but the other sailors in your boat have their turn, and they draw their arrows and shoot. And they miss. Yep. That includes Sarah. Top of the round.
You
Boats.
boys can't hit a blimp. This is why they brought the pros. And he looks over at Watherin.
They're having trouble keeping their feet. The boat was just split halfway in half.
Like I said, pros. He said before he died.
And Watherin says, "You've got this, boys."
All right. Once again, 2 of the arms take aim at the boat itself. And Yeesh. Oh, that actually hits. All right. Let's see if the other one hits. Yes. Yeah. So, um, these two arms whip up. Oh. Uh. So the two arms whip up, and one of them like slashes down towards the boat, but Sarah, thinking quickly, like grabs a branch and like shoves you along out of the way of the arm that's coming down at you, and it smashes into a branch nearby. The other one that's coming down at the same time with it hits you. It's really sort of just a glancing blow, but 1 + 8 is 9, times 2 is 18. Damage is done to your boat, and
Is it possible to ever like jump in the way of one of these blows so that the boat doesn't take? I'm not saying I want to do that now, but is that a thing that we can do if we see this arm coming in?
no.
Okay.
I think if you had some kind of like fighter,
Mm.
there are like fighter abilities if you have like the Way of the Shield,
Yep.
whatever, that you
Mhm.
can do stuff like that.
Okay.
But I don't think either of you guys. I mean, actually, Weather and
I
you
didn't
might.
know if that was like a special, because there's
Yeah.
special combat rules for the Kraken, so I just figured I'd ask.
Right.
I understand what
Yeah. No. There's nothing special for the Kraken with that. It does seem to be the kind of thing. Weather and you have special shield abilities, right?
I do, but not something like that.
Okay.
Sweet. Um, there are still a bunch of arms left to go, and some of these are going to come after you, Malmer.
Okay.
In fact, I think it's one of the eyes is facing towards you, and you see it sort of swivel and catches sight of like the weird eldritch energies around you,
Yeah.
and a bunch of tentacles come at you all at once.
Come at me, bro. AC 16. Let's see what you got.
Not that one. 17 will hit you, right?
It will.
That's one hit. And 20 will hit you. That's
It
two
will.
hits.
2.
2 out of 3, so... And that one's attached to the trees, and these ones hit the boats.
Man, this punk.
Okay.
Well, thank goodness for disadvantage, right? Because without disadvantage, I'm sure it would have been 3.
Yes. The tentacles, too, are coming right at you, Malmer. Whoa, that's Jack Dice. I'm not even going to pick it up off the floor.
It's not that clean.
6 + 8 is 14 is not enough.
Nope.
First tentacle doesn't do enough. Is 16 enough?
Yes, it is.
Cool. So you get hit by 2 arms and 1 tentacle. What that is going to look like in terms of damage for you is... Ouch. Where are my D10s? Here we go.
Where are my D10s at? Gosh, it sure would be nice to have a priest upon healing me right now.
Go ahead and take 39 damage.
All right, so he's going to take 30 damage from the armor of Agathis.
Yep. And then roll me up a strength saving throw.
Okie dokie. Woohoo! 16s are just rolling deep in the 16s tonight. So it's 16 plus 2 is 18 plus 2 is 20.
Okay. The tentacle tries to grab onto you and is not able to. Like maybe the mystic energies just like make it slide off.
You should Mal should still have an extra D4 from the bless on all defense and whatever. Also, what condition are you in?
I've got 23 hit points. I just went from 62 to 23.
Okay.
And I gave almost as good as I got, but I'm just one man. So, whose turn is it?
It is the boat's turn to shoot at it.
Okay.
Oh, that's not bad. They hit. And yeah, when they hit, they actually do with their arrows. They do a good 22 damage to the Kraken. Arrows go thump 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 thump. Let's see. And this that boat comes closer. The other boat comes closer. Weatherin, your turn. So what you have seen is your creepy eldritch companion sort of powered himself up.
Mm-hmm.
Got this crazy looking armor. The Kraken's attention went onto him, and just all of the available like power was focused right on Malmer, and it hit him a number of times, and he's not looking great right now.
Okay. Josh, what fractional health do you look like you are? Half health, 3/4?
Below half.
Okay.
Just below half.
You still have the armor on? Did it get broken off or something?
Nope, it's still on and still going, but tactically speaking, you probably just saw the tentacles of Enma get like shredded and ripped up. He took almost as much damage as he gave me, so
okay,
do with that what you will.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, 10 damage whenever it hits you is...
Yeah, that's no joke.
Yeah.
No joke.
Okay, I'm gonna use my action to make my crossbow into a sacred weapon, which gives me some bonuses for a hit and stuff, but not this turn. I mean, I can't also attack this turn.
Cool.
Do you have any bonus action healing?
I can do something as an action.
Okay.
I don't have. There's not a lot of bonus stuff on mine, interestingly. Anyway, so there I am.
Okay.
Malmer,
Yeah.
your turn.
I'm going to use my bonus action to regain some hit points. So I get back 5 hit points. Every little bit helps.
What ability is this?
This is my fighter level 1 second wind.
Nice.
So, yeah. And then I'm going to use my action to blast this fool with my Eldritch Blast. Because that's, tactically speaking, the thing that's going to do the most damage. So, the first attack is 10 plus 18. Well, actually 18 plus, well, it can't be higher than 18, otherwise this is an unwinnable game. Whatever. 22 to hit. And
I'm sorry, what are you doing? 22 to
Eldritch,
hit?
Eldritch
Oh, your Eldritch
Blast.
Blast. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, that hits.
And 19 to hit.
I'm sorry, why do you have two different... Why'd you
Because
roll twice?
Eldritch Blast, once I hit level 5, does 2 beams, and you roll
Okay.
separately for each one.
Yeah, both of those hit.
Yeah, so.
Roll damage.
All right, so the first is...
Necrotic damage, right?
It is 19 damage, and the second one is 16 damage.
Well, what level is Malmer? He's like 7 levels above me.
I think Malmer made level 6, right?
No, I'm...
Oh, you're level 5?
I'm a
level
level
5 and then one fighter.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm level 5 as well, but I don't do any kind of damage like that. Of course,
Yeah.
Sorry, it was 19 and 16?
Correct. Yeah, I'm just double checking my number
35?
because I'm not doing that. Yep, that's it.
I'm also a defensive paladin, so
Yeah, and I just took more than half my damage right there, so
yeah.
yeah.
The Kraken's 2 trapped arms, which they did not do last turn because I forgot, but they get an opportunity to try and struggle free to free themselves from the tangle harpoons that they're caught in.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a strength check, so it's hex. It has disadvantage, so it is not going to succeed on that one or on that one. Great.
Have the other boats caught up to us yet?
You can see that you are within sight of Kyoko's boat behind you, and just behind her is Barkas's boat. You haven't seen Goryo yet.
That freaking one he rolled.
Yes, indeed.
He started doing a barrel roll.
The Kraken, it is apparent that Enma's hateful energy and spite is focused entirely on Malmer. At this point, it is almost a one-on-one fight, and the arms dart out once more. One of them is going to try and attack the boat. Yes, and it hits the boat.
Ooh, I do have a bonus action. All right, sorry.
Yeah. So with this third strike against your boat, it is no longer able to stay upright in the water. The central, like the keel that it has, the most sturdy part of it that runs down the center, is broken in half. The pieces of the boat fall away. You all need to make me acrobatics checks to keep your feet.
Okay.
Is this...
D4.
Yep.
14 plus 6 is 20.
And just 14 for me.
Okay, yeah, that's enough. Oh boy. Where's my D4s? Okay. One of the sailors isn't able to keep her feet on as she spills out of the boat and drops beneath the mist in the canopy, and you hear a thump from below you as she contacts a branch.
That's better than hearing nothing.
Better than hearing nothing. Okay. That was the first armed attack. There are... So now you guys, you have gotten yourselves onto the canopy.
Mhm.
So if you sort of lay low and position yourselves, you're not prone. You know, we can consider this a standing position, but you're sort of maybe on your knees or spread out a little bit on top of the broad, flat leaves that make up the very topmost level of the cloudy sea. And from this position, you're pretty much where you were. You have about 30 feet from Enma itself, where it is sort of in this spread out area of trees that it creates around itself as it struggles, and the trees sort of push apart from each other. This sort of gap that its big body is in. You're sort of on the edge of that, and it's below you about 30 feet away. But you are now in the cloudy sea on the canopy among the trees instead of on your boat. So moving around is now a little bit more perilous than it was before. When the other boats arrive, you might want to figure something out. I don't know. It depends. I don't know if you want to move around. Maybe you don't.
Is one of the boats filled with like archers as opposed to people with like close quarters stuff, or is everybody just throwing harpoons at this thing?
Each boat has mostly archers,
Okay.
and yeah, all the everybody who rows, when the fight comes, they draw their bows instead and just shoot arrows at it.
Okay.
It's the way it's done. So there's one harpooner and one person who pilots, and the harpooner throws harpoons and has close range attacks.
Okay.
But everybody else on the boat is distance.
Okay.
I'm afraid that the baleful eye of the silver squid is still upon you, Malmer.
Hmm.
It is coming after you
With disadvantage.
with great disadvantage. Comes great responsibility.
It's true.
That one's not going to hit.
Come on, baby. Flub.
And that one's not going to hit.
Flub.
You're 16, right?
Correct.
7 plus 8 is 15. So that third one's going to miss as well. And the fourth
I
one.
love Hexblade's curse.
But here come the tentacles.
Go with disadvantage.
Ouch. One tentacle whiffs. Wow. So the Kraken must be disoriented, or this curse and all the magic stuff that's going on.
Oh, the Kraken's not disoriented. Mal is just a furious maelstrom of parrying, like by the Hexblade's curse. He's just parrying everything.
Mal is everywhere, and there's like dark mystical energy just interceding all the time in this battle. Just tentacle after tentacle and arm after arm sweeps down on Malmer and just cannot seem to get him. At this point, Kyoko's boat draws up, and she yells, "Hello! Let's get it, fellas! Let's get after it!" And they are going to shoot their arrows at the Great Kraken as well. What are we talking about here? There we go. That is going to be just enough to hit.
Boy, Robert, our characters might actually survive fighting Inma.
Remains to be seen. You're doing all the damage. At least I'm not doing damage. I'm just assisting. But I have a good assist coming up. Try to keep
Okay.
you alive.
I was gonna say if all you did in this fight was kept me alive, then you and I would share the glory utterly equally. Because Mal may be doing a lot of damage, but he's down to 23 hit points. Like, it's gonna be a flash in the pan if he doesn't stay alive. Oh my goodness, this would be such a different fight if I had Finnetir in the back of the boat or nearby healing him.
It's true.
So different. The armor, I had never even occurred to me to match the armor of Agathis with the steady stream of healing from a cleric. Because this is like the ideal scenario for it, right? You've got a massive, not dumb brute, but you've got a kind of single-minded, hyper-focused, colossal foe. This is exactly what this setup was built for.
But you
Yeah,
don't.
and
But you don't want it to hit you. I mean,
Well,
it's just okay if it does.
Every time it hits me, it takes 10 damage. So if somebody can just keep healing me, every
Sure.
time you heal me, you're effectively doing damage to the squid.
Sure.
But anyway.
Unfortunately, I'm not a healer.
so what is going to happen here is that it is Weatherin's turn.
All right. Watherin is going to do two things that are not what Watherin expected to do. The first is I'm going to. Well, I guess I should ask actually. Am I close enough to Malmer to touch him?
Yeah, you were on the same boat.
Yeah, but we fell off. I didn't know.
Yeah, you did. Right. Yeah, but you both did fine. So if you
Okay.
you're close to each other.
Then I lay hands on Malmer. I say about a 5-word prayer in muttered, a little bit quietly, and my hands glow green and yellow, kind of a golden green yellow, like a plant growth. Malmer gets 10 hit points back.
Nice.
And has a bonus action. I am going to cast Sanctuary on Malmer.
Whoa. What does Sanctuary do?
It makes it harder for him to hit you, so that because you're dealing damage. I mean, he still could hit you. Basically, it every attack against Malmer, the attacker has to make a Wisdom saving throw,
Oh my gosh.
or
Disadvantage and a Wisdom saving throw. This is amazing.
if he loses the Wisdom saving throw, he either has to choose a new target, or just lose the attack.
Oh my word.
And I don't know what this means, but sorry. And this does not protect you from area attacks like fireball or something like that. I don't know what it means, but basically, I think the saving difficulty or something, it says Wiz 12.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, that's amazing.
Well, hopefully it doesn't kill me, because then it ends.
Just stay behind me.
Sure.
Shoot that crossbow and stay behind me.
All right, Malmer, your turn.
All right. Mal has the attention and the fury of the Kraken, so he is going to cast Eldritch Blast at it with his action. That's going to be a... nuts. A 11, which I'm guessing does not hit,
Not gonna hit.
and a 27.
The 27 is going to hit.
Okay, thank goodness. All right, so he's going to take 16 points of damage from Eldritch Blast. And oh man, I wish I had a bonus action to attack. Oh well. Okay. Yeah.
At this point, Barkis's boat draws up. And Barkus says, "This is it. The time we've been waiting for. Everybody." And he's giving
Tally ho!
Tally ho!
How close does Inma look to death?
Not very.
Nuts.
It's a big, big monster.
Yeah. Okay.
Enma, Barkus's boat gets a shot at the Kraken. They ready their bows. Seeing that you have already gotten it pinned down. And they hit it. Oh, that's pretty good. Doing 23 damage. But then it is Enma's turn. Once more, Josh, this may be a brute, but it is canny.
Oh yeah.
It is not a foolish fighter, and it knows which of you it needs to take out if it wants to survive this encounter.
So it's with disadvantage, and if it hits, then it needs to make a wisdom saving throw. Or no, it needs to make a wisdom saving throw and then attack.
It needs to make a wisdom saving throw in order to target you.
Yeah.
Okay. And it needs to pass a 12 with its wisdom.
Right.
Yes, that's right.
Match or exceed 12. So that is
Does it need to do that for each attack?
For each attack.
Okay.
Yep. That's 1. That's going to go through the wisdom gate. 2, 3. Let's see. 6 plus 4 is only 10. So one of the arms is deflected by the wisdom thing, and we will say afterwards what it does. And then here are the tentacles. That one is able to wisdom its way through, but not the second tentacle. So one arm and one tentacle have to do something else, have to find another target after this, right?
Okay.
Or not. They are allowed just to flail.
Right.
I take it none of the other arms got pinned down in the previous round?
There are 2 arms pinned down, and one of them is bracing itself on a tree.
Cool. Okay. All right.
So here are the 3 arm attacks that made it past the wisdom. That one misses you. That one misses you. That one misses you. And here's the tentacle. Misses. All right, the other 2 are going to direct themselves at Kyoko's boat. Good enough. It's 1 hit. And another hit. So that's going to be a couple of d6s plus 8 times 2. So that's 10, 26. Yeah, so these 2, oh wait, it's an arm and a tentacle, so it's not a d6. Well, it's fine, even if it's not. An arm comes sweeping in and smashes Kyoko's boat from one side, while a tentacle comes up from the other side and just wraps itself around the fan and crushes it slowly. Crunch. You hear there's just the sailors are yelling in fright as the boat just vanishes into splinters beneath them under these 2 attacks. They are all going to make some saving throws. Keep their feet. And we've got 2 that fall overboard. Oof. One sailor falls down, and you hear nothing. Another sailor falls, and there's a thump and a thump. And Kyoko looks unhappy about this. Weatherin, your turn.
All right. Watherin is going to attack with the crossbow.
Oh, by the way, Kalurk, the Aarakocra harpooner, is on Kyoko's boat. When it splinters, he takes off and is now flying.
Okay. Sounds good. Watherin is going to attack with his crossbow. Let's see. Yay. That's not a great roll. But the bonus is up. Let's see. 14.
14 does not hit.
Lame.
Nuts.
Power.
Yeah.
All right.
More to do.
No, I don't.
No, I don't. That was fun. All right,
Great.
so that's a 16 to hit
That hits.
and a 15.
A 15 does hit.
Yes. All right. Ooh, okay, so that's 15 damage and 14 damage. Right, yeah. Sorry, I just keep double checking the math each time.
All right. I should have done this earlier, but the other sailors in your boat get to fire their arrows,
Sure.
and they do that, and they hit, and they do some damage, which is going to be
Can Mal use his bonus action to make like a perception check or a medicine check to try to discern where Enma is in the progression of being damaged?
that would be your action.
Standard action.
If you're
Okay.
gonna take the time, because each action is only 6 seconds. If you're gonna take the time to like look and try to figure stuff out, it'll take time. Okay. Top of the order. Barkas's boat goes,
Top of the order to you.
and
And also to you.
he yells to Kyoko, "Kyoko, are you okay?" And Kyoko's like, "I'm fine, but I've lost one."
Mm.
And she is rigging up. She's rigging up some lines attached to the branches to be able to go down into the cloudy sea to search for her overboard sailors on her boat. But it is Barkas's turn now, and what they're going to do is Gratu, the orcish harpooner, is going to throw one of their tangle harpoons to try and pin down another one of these arms and keep it from hitting all of you. We are going to have, it's going to be time to go on break in about 5 minutes, so I think we're going to do this one more round, and then we'll go to our 10-minute intermission. That's good enough. And we're going to get this much. This is a full boat, so it's 66.
Boy, if Disney wasn't going to sue our pants off, this would be a great time to be playing the Pirates of the Caribbean battle music.
Yep. 20, actually, 37. The Kraken is the great silver squid is starting to flail in a manner that seems desperate. But once again, as it has been doing, all of those arms and tentacles come right at you, Malmer. It is too smart to change things up. Um, so first we're looking at some wisdom saves. Oh wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I didn't do the tangle harpoon yet.
Okay. Oh, please hit. Oh, please hit. Tie up one more arm.
That was it is not likely to. He rolled an 11. Or she rolled an 11. Actually, but the Kraken rolled a 9. So yeah,
Nice.
I need to roll myself that D12. Is this a D12? That's not a D12. Where's my D12? Here we go. It hits an arm. So that's a third arm.
That's pinned.
That's pinned. The Kraken is now from 3 different directions. It's got arms that are stuck to the trees. So, with one arm stuck to a tree or two, it has some range of mobility. But with all 3 stuck from different directions, it's very limited in how it can move its body now. The body is very immobile, does not make it any easier to hit. But the arms, most of the arms are still flailing around and doing stuff, and it braces itself against the trees that it is attached to and strikes at you as hard as it can with all of its force, Malmer.
Okay.
It's going to have to roll those wisdom saving throws, though.
Yep.
So that is going to be 5 arms and 2 tentacles. That's a hit.
Or it's a wisdom pass.
That is fail. 1 fails. 2 fail. 4th one passes. 5th one passes. So 2 of them have to go elsewhere of the arms. And 1 tentacle passes, 1 tentacle fails. So I can hear somebody's music. It's cool.
Nice. Do it. Do it.
How's a 17 against your armor class?
That hits.
Elmer?
That hits. So immediately, Mal, alongside the ice, infernal flames erupt around him, and Inma needs to make a DC 16 dexterity saving throw, which unfortunately Inma is not at disadvantage for, but it's still DC 16. So let's see how that goes.
What kind of saving throw is it?
So it's dexterity. So Mal, as a reaction, casts Hellish Rebuke.
Hellish Rebuke.
And he erupts in flames.
And it's a DC 16?
Correct.
So Enma does not pass that and does get hit by your Hellish Rebuke.
Okay, so Enma is going to take... Oh, yeah. That's an 8, a 6, and in this case, a tasty 0. So that's 24 points of fiery, hellish damage. Or fiery rebuke. It's not hell. It's just fire. fiery
Yep.
rebuking damage.
So here's the damage from the arm that hits you is going to be 10.
Okay, and it also takes 10 damage from the ice, so that's 34, I guess.
And
Right.
the tentacle hits you as well,
Okay.
which is the one that's the tentacles are much stronger than the other ones.
Okay.
They're really bad.
Okay.
Uh, $26. Take 26 damage from the
Oof.
tentacle.
Ouch. Ouch. Mal has a whopping 2 hit points left.
But it takes another 10 from the armor, right?
Correct, it does.
Okay. At this point, the rest of the sailors who were with you in your boat, including Sarah, get to fire their arrows, which they do. Or wait, hold on. They have to actually shoot them first.
No. Skip straight to the damage,
Yeah,
please.
They're gonna hit. All right. Yeah, and then you finally see Captain Gorio's boat ride on up with
Nice.
Gorio himself, and you see something that you recognize flying from his boat, which you did not expect to see, but it is a kite of the same kind that was used to signal you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a special flag that the captain can use to signal to the Fujin. And he is calling the Fujin to you. An extremely dangerous maneuver that only a madman would even attempt. Only somebody completely insane would try to pilot a ship in the cloudy sea. This is actually something, Malmer, that you have done, piloted a full-size ship in the cloudy sea, and look where it got you.
Yeah, that may or may not have been one of the stressing factors that led to the parting of ways.
Weatherin. Oh, Gorio's actually going to get a chance to make his mark on the Kraken here. And he's actually going to have to move some first. He's a doesn't like to shoot with arrows. He's got a gigantic spear or a javelin that he or like a tangle harpoon, but without all the tangles on it, that he is wielding, and he jumps down off the boat and starts navigating towards the Kraken on the cloudy sea, but he is not able to get there quite yet. Now, Weatherin. Oh wait, the boat. I'm sorry. I keep saying it's your turn. Right. So the sailors on Gorio's boat fire at the Kraken and miss. Weatherin, now it's your turn. Malmer? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you. Oh my goodness, thank you.
So I lay on hands, 10 more hit points to Malmer.
Okay. Oh boy. Okay.
Malmer, it is now your turn.
All right. Mal is going to Eldritch Blast this guy 2 times. Those are both hits. One of them is a crit, And so with each blast, he blasts Inma backwards away from him 10 feet. So you see this colossal sized squid move 20 feet away from him. And Inma takes 18 and 16 damage. And Mal disappears from view, and he vanishes. Although to the camera, we see him reappear just below and out of sight down in the canopy, about 30 feet away and a few feet down.
What is this that just happened?
He just used Misty Step.
Okay. So that's not a concentration thing. That's a...
No, it doesn't use a spell slot, and it doesn't use concentration. It's a racial ability.
Cool.
Mal has now fully expended his, big flashy spells, and is now breathing heavily.
Do you have to be able to see to Misty Step?
I mean, the canopy is sparse, right? Yeah, that you can see. So I do. I teleport to a place that I can see. I mean that from the sense of, like, cinematically, he can still see me. I can still see him. I don't have, like, cover or anything, but he's, like, away and down. So.
Okay. No, I mean, you teleport to a place that you, Malmer, can see.
Yeah.
And you want to be... you can't go down into the midst of the cloudy sea because it's obscured.
So I just teleport 30 feet back away from Inma.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. So that is the bottom of the round. We're going to go on break. We'll be back in 10 minutes at 9:17.
Okie dokie.
Welcome back to this exciting episode of
It's the Starfall Collective.
King of the Cloudy Sea. We are in the middle of a battle. Fortunately, I read something wrong, and I have not been giving Enma all of the saving throws that he ought to have. So, actually, Sir Robert's spell should not have done anything at all.
Sanctuary should have had no effect. It's got a wisdom saving throw of plus 11.
Oh my!
But it's fine. We will start that from now on.
He can still miss on a 1.
It can still miss on a 1.
Yeah.
If it's because it's a critical fail.
Right.
1 plus 11 is 12, which would normally succeed.
Okay.
But since it's a critical fail, it will not succeed. So, normally to look around, you would have to spend some time. But Malmer, I'm going to give your dungeon master gives you this site for free. As you Misty Step away from the action, you're able to see the battlefield and the surrounding area a little bit. You get just a quick glimpse around you to orient yourself. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that you see is the Temple of Chernobog, which you can see sort of in the distance. You can see it because you turned off the. You can see just like the tip of it sticking up out of its hollow that it sits in, the sort of depression in the trees that it sinks down in.
Right.
And you can see it listing to one side. It has changed place.
Okay.
Somewhat.
Okay.
More than it had changed place from you and from your crews and Sarah's action
pillaging
with the pickaxes.
Okay.
It's changed since the last time you saw it. So, top of the round, it is Barkis's boats' time to shine. They see you disappear, and Barkis shouts to them, "Give it your all, sailors! Put some lead into it!" And they miss. Oh, and you know what? They've been doing way too much damage to him, too. I'm treating Enma very poorly.
We all are.
It's supposed to take half damage from bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing attacks. And all of their arrow attacks I have been giving full damage to.
Mm-hmm.
No longer. That's not going to be the case anymore. You guys... So, the way we're going to narrate this, that the DM has forgotten the rules and did not read the character sheet for the monster. You kind of... those of you who can see Enma right now, it's on now. Enma's eye narrows. The body tenses up with determination.
You see some of the arrows pop out of the flesh as it toughens up.
Probably the seeing the warlock disappear had something to do with this. It's been smashing at you and missing you, and then suddenly you're not there anymore, and it gains some confidence, I guess. But
it's easy to be brave when your enemy isn't in your face. I'm coming for you, Enma.
But now it is Enma's
he said quaveringly.
And Enma is going to use an attack available to it, which is ink gas. The Kraken secretes a cloud of dark, toxic gas that spreads in a cloud of 60-foot radius. Malmer, you are just just within range of this cloud. It's the edge of it is just going to hit you.
Okay.
But you were 30 feet away, and you went 30 feet further away, so the 60-foot radius area of effect attack does hit you.
Wait, 30-foot radius or 60-foot radius?
60-foot radius, sorry.
Okay, all right.
120-foot diameter.
Yeah.
A strong breeze would dissipate the cloud, which otherwise disappears at the end of the Kraken's next turn. Inside the cloud, it is heavily obscured. You cannot see, except for the Kraken, who can see. Any creature who breathes the gas must succeed at a DC 18 Constitution saving throw. So, everybody cannot see for one turn, and all of you make Constitution saving throws.
Okay.
Or if you fail the saving throw of 18, take 2d10 poison damage.
Ouch! Please don't be more than 12 hit points.
Is poison damage different than disease?
Yes.
Okay.
It's just a kind of damage, like other kinds.
I got a 21. 22.
All right, so it doesn't hit you. I'm gonna roll for. Oh boy. Everybody. And you, and Gorio. All right. So some of the sailors in Barkas's boat are injured by this poison. They're coughing and barking, and Barkas has put something over his mouth, I guess, so he hasn't breathed as much of it. He's pretty much okay, but some of the sailors got hit, and where are my d10s? Here it is. Yeah. Okay, they're alive, and some of the Kyoko also takes a little damage from this. But Kalurk is actually above the cloud, so he doesn't take any damage. None of you see this or know how the others react. It's just like.
Go ahead. It's just like.
It's just like it's instant. This is a one-action thing, and so this cloud spreads out from the Kraken just like a smoke grenade going off. Suddenly, the area is just completely dark. Smells totally foul and sickening. Whether you're able to stomach it and not take any damage because of your toughness, but now, what happens to you?
You see Mal disappear and Bamf reappear 30 feet farther away, and you see him kind of hang his head down for a second, and you see him finally exhale, and you see his shoulders fall, and then you see this cloud come waving over him, and he, in shock, goes and just sucks up a full lungful of this, and he just collapses to the ground unconscious.
Because it's not ground, and it's actually the canopy of the cloudy sea, I'm going to allow you to make an acrobatics check with disadvantage to get yourself into a position as you fall where you won't fall through.
Okay. So with disadvantage, that's an 11.
Okay. Roll one of these. So what happens is you don't know this, but your unconscious body falls through. The DC for keeping your feet in the cloudy sea has been 12 throughout the entire game. So you're not able to stay upright, and you fall through the canopy, and your body tumbles into a Y armpit branch in a tree.
Okay. So that means that I automatically fail my first saving throw as soon as I take damage. Is it one or two failures?
You take damage, so you do. It's just one.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, you fail your first death save.
Okay. My goodness, I haven't lost a player character in a while.
This is Enma, King of the Cloudy Sea. You should have run away. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
We shall see.
Enma, on its turn, does something that Kraken sometimes do, but it's very rare, because everything that lives in the Cloudy Sea knows that it depends on the trees to keep from falling. Even if it's a almost lighter than air creature like Enma, it's not actually lighter than air.
Mm-hmm.
And it does need to be able to grab onto the trees. Although it can thrust itself up into the air and float for a while, it still needs those trees. And so they do this very seldom. So it's kind of a desperate move. But some of the arms actually attack the trees around you. So the first 3 arms, which are pinned, are going to try to escape. You're unconscious. Does your spell, your hex, dissipate, or does it keep going?
I can't imagine that there's really not any spell that continues when someone falls unconscious.
So the hex dissipates, and it starts to struggle. One of its actions was taken up by doing the ink discharge thing. So that's going to be one of these.
It's concentration, so it has to go away.
Oh, okay. Good.
So the armor of Agathis just lasts for an hour, and it's not concentration. So the armor of Agathis is still going, and the come on, give me just one sec. Golly, why won't you scroll? Dude. What? Sorry, my death save failure thing has prevented the page from scrolling the right way. But not the spell. Oh my gosh, this is infuriating. I can't actually scroll to look at any of my abilities because
Refresh the page.
I can't. All right, I'll refresh it now.
I mean, take away the death saves. We can remember without it how many death saves you have.
Anyway, yeah, there we go. Good call, Sir Robert. The Hexblade's Curse. Yeah. So the spell Hex, which is a concentration spell, is what was giving it disadvantage. So the Kraken now has no more disadvantage. But if I become conscious again, the Hexblade's Curse will still be on it, meaning I get +3 damage. So anyway, that's it.
So some of these arms are going to attack boats, and some of them are going to attack trees. So I think so none of them are able to free themselves. They're still stuck. But
why didn't I say I used my move action? All I had to do was say I used my move action.
your move. Oh, you could have moved on your turn.
Oh
You
my
could have
goodness.
bamfed and then run.
But I had to be cinematic.
You would have had to do an acrobatics check if you ran. So you might have been thinking, just stay here.
No, I'm pretty good at those. Anyway, keep going.
That's true. You're pretty good.
That's like the best thing. That's what I'm best at.
That's a hit and a miss. So Barkus's boat takes a good deal of damage. Actually, not that much. Just 20. I guess that's actually a lot. So two of these tentacles whip out towards Barkus's boat, and the sailors can't even see what's going on. So yeah. Eesh. One of the sailors falls out of the boat when it gets struck by the arm of the Kraken, and falls and thunks onto a branch. Barkus himself rolls a 2 for keeping his feet, and actually falls out of the boat, and also lands and is able to, doesn't fall out the bottom, but he does. He is down in the cloudy sea and not on the canopy anymore. And then, what's this one? So Robert, you're going to get attacked by a couple of these arms.
It happens.
How is a 13? Not going to hit you, is it?
It is not.
How about a 12? A 12's not going to hit you.
Not this time.
Okay. And one of these is going to... Actually, you know what? The other two are going to... Did it break Kyoko's boat? Yes, it did.
It did.
So 2 of these are going to go after Kyoko herself. Yep. And yep. And that's going to be a hefty chunk. So okay, and the tentacles go after Goryo. This is okay, great. Okay, we're gonna do this in order, actually. So the first tentacle whips towards Goryo. He can't see. None of you see all this that's happening. And Goryo gets hit by this tentacle and needs to make a strength saving throw, which he fails, and the tentacle hits him for a... $19. Hits him for 19 hit points and actually grabs him and seizes him and is holding him. And then the other tentacle goes to slap him as well, but that it misses. And that is Enma's turn. Now it is Sarah's boat's turn.
Sorry, real quickly. If that was Enma's turn, does the black mist dissipate?
No, this is the turn that it shot out the black
Got
mist.
it. Okay.
So one of its arm actions was taken up doing that.
Got it.
And yeah. So it's until it gets its next turn, or a strong breeze dissipates it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Sarah's turn, and her and the other sailors around you, Weatherin, they don't do anything. They're not able to see. They're calling out to each other, trying to keep their feet in the cloudy sea. Just sort of getting low and hunkering down and hanging on.
Yeah.
Same thing with the others, but Goryo is on his turn is going to he'll have an opportunity to try and escape from the grapple that he's in. Oh boy, okay. Good luck. Yeah, that's not gonna cut it. Actually, no, it is definitely not gonna cut it. Yeah, so Goryo is restrained, but he is actually held fairly close to Enma, and he is he's still able to strike at it, albeit with disadvantage because he cannot see. So he's going to try and hit it with his spear. And he's yelling curses at it. You know, from hell's hard eyes, stab at thee. For hate's sake, I such and such. Oh, actually, and he rolls 2 17s in a row, which is going to be a hit. And he's going to actually do some damage to Enma. 1, 6, 7, divided by 2. He's going to stab it for 4 hit points. Weatherin, your turn.
Still in
It's
darkness.
Completely dark around here. Yeah, around you. You're keeping your seat, your footing on the broad leaves of the canopy of the cloudy sea.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know broadly where the Kraken is. You could shoot at it with disadvantage, I think.
But dark vision doesn't help here.
No,
Okay.
it's obscured.
Yeah, I think. I think, like the others, I'm going to try to hide, or kind of wait it out a minute.
Okay. You're gonna use your movement at all or anything? Try and get into a better position, or you can't really see, so it's.
I was just thinking,
not
like,
really move around.
yeah, just like lay prone, something like that. Actually, does that conflict with also taking a shot? I don't really know how the actions all work.
It's fine.
Okay,
You can take a shot.
I'll take a shot with disadvantage. I mean, it doesn't
Yeah.
hurt unless maybe he tries to kill me specially for it. Let's see. So that means I need to roll. Got it. Okay. Oh, with disadvantage. And my 4 is 3, so 18.
Yeah, that hits.
Cool. For a little bit of damage, 7.
All right.
And then I guess I'm
Damage, right?
yeah, so 3.5 or whatever that rounds to.
4.
Cool.
Very good. It is.
From hell's heart, my mosquito stabs at thee.
It's Barkis's turn, and they just they don't do anything. They're doing the same thing as the other sailors, just trying to help each other, trying to loop some ropes around some branches so that they can keep themselves upright.
Sure.
In the squid, and this is the kind of thing that Kraken can do. Most Kraken don't have nearly the range. The ink gas discharge is not as big as Enma's. But other Kraken do have this, so they're used to it, and you just sort of hunker down, and it goes away after a little while.
Cool.
It's a skill that's used for the Kraken to be able to escape, but if you've got it tied down to the trees, it doesn't help the poor Kraken very much.
Yeah, right.
Except it's poison, and it hurts you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So Enma's turn again. Now it's the heavy poisonous smoke has dissipated at this point. So it's been it took about 6 seconds to go out and do all its stuff, and now it's dissipated again. There. It's a very quick acting. I guess it takes exactly 1 round. So Enma is going to try and free itself again. What does it have to roll? Nope. Just didn't do it. Okay, and now the arms. What you see is that instead of sort of flailing out to all sorts of different targets like what you've been hearing, the arms start to move more strategically and begin begin to strike at some of the trees around you. It's not necessarily always going to be able to hit. Oh wait, sorry, Malmer, you need to make a death save after Weatherin's turn.
Indeed, I do. Indeed, I do.
While he's doing that, will you just tell the rules of death save? I don't know them, but also maybe somebody else doesn't.
You have 3 checkboxes,
Mm-hmm.
and if you have to roll better than a 10, you have to roll 10 or higher.
Mm-hmm.
And if you roll 10 or higher, I think 3 times, then you wake up and you have 1 hit point and you're fine. If you roll lower than a 10 3 times, then you die the death.
So it's best like 3 out of 7 or whatever.
It's the first 3 either way.
First to 3.
First 3 either way, and he is already. If you take damage in the intervening time, that counts as failing 1 death save. So when he fell through the cloudy sea and landed on a branch and took falling damage,
He failed.
1 failed death save.
Got it. Okay.
And I rolled a 20.
Oh, well, so with a 20, you actually get 1 hit point right away, wake up, and are conscious.
Sweet.
So what happens is you fell through.
Mouth, you hear his ribs crack, and you see blood dripping out of his mouth, and you just see him begin to mutter, "By the wrath of Chernobog, the valor of Oberon, and the honor of the Fujin, I curse you, king of this cloudy sea, and I call spoilage on the table of Pelor. I have no mercy for you but my steel." He gets up and starts climbing up the village.
Yeah, so if you want to, I'll let you do that on your turn. It's going to take your movement. But yeah, go ahead and roll me the acrobatics check to climb up, back up to the top.
That is a 21.
Yeah, so the fog. Actually, this is before the fog has rolled away. Right?
Didn't you say? Okay, so
No,
when
it's
does
not.
Okay.
This is so. I'm sorry. I said wrong. It's completely dark where you are. You're within the sphere of the fog. Actually, you know what? You were at the very edge of it, and it's a sphere, so you fell out of it.
Okay.
So
good.
yeah, you can climb up.
Okay.
You were at sort of the hemisphere, the equator of it, and you fell down 30 feet. So
Okay.
yeah. Okay, so you climb up, and we'll say, you can climb up and sort of stay outside of the sphere.
Okay.
But that's going to put you at 65 feet from Enma.
Fine by me.
Okay.
So that's my turn.
No, I just let you do that as part of your death save turn. Yeah, that's your turn.
Okay.
Made a death save, climbed up.
Okay. Yep.
I'm not
Sounds
sure
good.
what the actual rules are, but I don't think you get an action. I don't think I should have let you move. But anyway, it is Enma's turn. Enma is attacking some trees. And trees have AC 15, and so this just barely hits. 2 hits. That's a miss. That's a hit. 1 more on. And that's also a hit. So 200 minus 76.
124.
Thank you. So these arms just bap, bap, bap are just wailing on these wailing on the trees, and there are branches flying everywhere. And one of the trunks of one of the trees near the kraken actually snaps in half with its mighty pounding. It's not free of the trees that it's attached to yet, but it has damaged the general structural integrity of the interlaced forest that you're in. Then the tentacles come out. One of them is currently grabbing onto Goryo, and it is going to take that tentacle and just bring him in for a nice bite. 10 is 8. Does hit Goryo. So it just chomp, and what you see is Goryo cursing and yelling and flailing and just stabbing wildly with his spear is swallowed by the kraken. It's 9:57, so if you guys have to go to bed, we can stop now, and we can continue the rest of this battle later.
I have to get up at 5:30.
Really dramatic moment to end. What do you think?
I'm
Yeah.
not sure it's going to get any more dramatic than Mal just basically came back from the brink of death and Goryo just got swallowed. I think we just zenithed.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's stop.
At that point in the battle, where the kraken seems to have stopped attacking you, except for Goryo, who it has just swallowed, and except for that, the kraken has been flailing at the trees themselves, breaking the forest itself, and a couple of trees have actually broken enough that they've fallen down out into infinite space below you. And Malmer has just crawled up from the canopy and emerged, spitting blood. One measly hit point left, nearly dead. With that, we will pause the action and come back to you 1 week with the continuation of this extremely epic and desperate battle.
All right.
Do you want to do experience? I mean, I guess we should do experience.
Sure, I'm willing.
Weathering, did you take any risks to help your friends or shipmates? Take an experience for that. Experience point for that.
I was going to say, isn't this like an auto 3 night?
Yeah, I think just each of you take 3 experience points.
Okay. All right.
And take a fate point if you feel like it.
All right.
Great.
But that is all for tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. Tune in this same time next week for another exciting episode. And remember, failure's beautiful.
But we ain't doing that here.
All right.